Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. You're just watching this for the first time. This is me saying welcome. I'm super excited that you're here. Okay, so basically if you've not watched the pattern drafting of this particular dress, the link is in the description box below. This is the garment construction, and what I'm doing right now is pinning our dress. I would advise that you pin, right? Because pinning helps you to make it more stable and you're sure of what you're sewing, right? Because I've heard people say pinning is for beginners. Pinning is actually not for beginners. If you see, I had pinned and then I had that excess, so I'm going back to ensure that it aligns. That's what our pinning does for us. It helps us to align our work accurately, right? Okay, so I would come back once I'm done pinning. Okay, so we're going to be joining this, right? Can you see what this looks like? Yeah, so that's it. We're going to be joining it now, and we use our 1/4 inch measurement. All right, so you can see I've successfully joined our design. You can see it's already coming out together. I'm just going to do the same thing on our lining. So for our lining on this upper part, I cut double of this for the lining, and then I'll just join it and take it to the ironing board and iron before we go ahead. All right, guys, so I have sewn. This is the lining. I use the Ankara as the upper part so it's easy to face, and then this is the main fabric, right? We have joined it. Now we want to iron. I applied stay, all right, on it just to make it a bit firmer. Okay, so that's what it looks like here, and this is what the lining looks like. Now I want to iron it, and once I'm done, I'm going to show you what next to do. I'm just going to open this up. I'll open this up and iron, right, so that it stays flat. All right, so you can see we successfully ironed. You can see how beautiful it is. The idea of this is you want to finish your outfit and then the inside of your outfit is looking really neat, right? That's why you need to iron, and as you sew and you iron, it gives your outfit a very neat and very good finishing, right? So the next thing I'm going to iron is this. I have joined this side together, right? For the lower part of our dress, I joined this to the white part. I'm also going to iron so that by the time I gather, it comes out looking really neat, right? That's what we're after. We want a very good finish. All right, so we're back from the ironing board. Now we want to join our front and our back together. Remember, our sewing allowance is 1 inch, and I'm just going to pin also. I love to pin, reason being that it helps me to align properly without sewing things wrongly, right? So I'm just going to pin this down and trim off those excesses of hairstay hanging around there. We successfully joined our front and back together. You can see how it looks. We've done the same thing for the lining, and we just go again to the ironing board to iron it, right? Go again to the ironing board to iron. I hope you can see this. Yeah, so we're going to the ironing board to iron it and iron the full body to give it a clean look, right? Ironing is very important. All right, so for the lower part, I have successfully gathered. I am used to gathering with thread and needle, because it allows me to align these things in the way I want it to be on the waistline. If you have the gather footer, you can also use the machine footer and use your machine to gather. However, I prefer to use my hand. All right, so I'm going to be joining the upper bodies together. Remember, right side facing right side, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pin and then join it. I'll do the same thing for the lining. I'm going to join the upper part. I've also gathered the lining, the lower part of the lining. I'm just going to join both, and then we'll see what it looks like. So we are on the ironing board. We have successfully attached our upper bodies to the gathered part of the skirt, and then we want to iron our 1 inch for our zipper, right? There's something I've noticed: people fix their zip first before struggling to finish up the remaining part of the skirt. I always advise that wherever you want your zip to stop, you double stitch on that part and then run your stitch all the way down, such that when you want to fix your zip, it's easy to just go ahead, place. Let me give an example. So it's easy for me to just place my zip on this edge. I'm no longer going to be worried about finishing this side. You know, once you don't do that accurately, if you fix your zip before sealing, what happens is that by the time you try to seal after you've fixed your zip, you will see that it's a bit bulky around that area. So it's always advisable that you seal up. After sealing up, you can decide to open iron, right, your 1 inch, so that it's easy for you to just follow that line. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to open iron, and when I'm fixing the zip, you will see what I'm talking about. All right, so I've successfully open ironed, right, on my 1 inch zipper allowance. What I want to now do next is take this iron part of the zip and just go down away from where I double stitch, right, and then I will just begin to pin down on my 1 inch zipper allowance, following the ironed line as my guideline, right. I'm just going to pin it down. I'm showing you this so that it's easy for you to follow. And then when you're fixing your zip, ensure that when you want to fix the other side of your zip, the joining on the waistline must align with the other parts. I'm just going to stitch this on the sewing machine, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, okay, so I have successfully pinned, and then I'm just going to go ahead and stitch. Please, you can use a matching thread. Ignore that I'm using black. Please, you can use a matching thread. I'm using black so that you can see what I am doing. I hope you can see. Let me push this closer. Okay, so I'm stitching on this line, and I'm just following our 1 inch. As I sew, I remove my pin. So I've successfully sewn one side of the zip. This is what it looks like. You can see this is how neat it looks. Now I want to pin the other side. When I'm pinning the other side, I want to ensure that this joining around here aligns with this other side of our dress, so that you don't have that the look that is not neat, one side going up and the other side going down. So I'm just going to pin from this point all the way up, and then pin from this point all the way. All right, so we've successfully fixed our zip. You can see that on the waistline it aligns, and then that's what it looks like, neat. You can see our joining also, it aligns. One is not going up, one is not coming down, and you can see this down part of our zip is sitting perfectly, it's not bulking up, right? Yeah, so that's it basically, right? Yeah, So the next video you're going to see now is the finishing. Let's finish it. Right, ready? All right, so this is our lining we want to finish. So to neatly finish your dress, right, such way that you can actually export it outside the country, or when somebody that likes or that pays attention to details. There are some clients that they just like to pay attention to details, right? I want to show you a very neat way of finishing your lining. So this is my right side, the right side of my lining facing the right side of my main dress, and I'm just going to run my stitch. I always love to use 1/4 inch around the neckline, right? I'm just going to join around the neckline in quarter inch. All right, so I've successfully joined on the neckline, lining to the main fabric on the neckline. The next thing I want to do is hold it down to the lining, right, such that when we iron, our lining is not showing on the right side of our fabric. It's just going to be sitting in. So I'm just going to hold our stitch, this joining here, I'm going to hold it down on our lining all the way, such that when I iron, it's going to give it a very nice sitting on the neckline. I'm just going to run that stitch all the way down there. I'll do the same thing for the back. What I've just done, I'll join lining to the main dress on the neckline, and then I'm going to hold it down, sorry. I'll hold it down on the lining so that the neckline can sit neatly without bulking or showing on the right side. Yeah, once I'm done, I'll now go and iron. All right, so I've successfully joined at the neckline. The next thing I want to do is iron, right? So when ironing, you take this in. This is the back, this is the lining, and this is the main dress, and I've held this down on the lining. I don't know if you can see the thread. I've held it down on the lining. So what I want to do now is I'm going to fold in about very small, like maybe 1/8 or something, right, and iron that way, right? We'll just iron all the way that's down. All right, now for our finishing, our neat finishing, we don't want to see this side of our zip, so we want to use our lining to cover it up. So I'm just going to turn my lining. Remember, this is how our zip is supposed to be. This is how our zip is supposed to be once we are done, right? But then we're opening this up like so, and then we're going to use our lining to hold it down on the zipper side, such that this is sandwiched in between the lining and the fabric. The zipper is sandwiched in between our lining and our zipper. So I'll just go all the way down. I hope you can see. You can just when I get to this point where this iron is, I'm just going to stop there because I want to close the linings together. I will do the other part and then we'll be back to finish it up. All right, now that I have successfully sealed it on the zipper side, this is our hemline for our lining, right? This is our hemline for our lining. So I'm just going to hold it down separately from the dress. I'm going to pin all the way to the point where I stopped and just hold it down on our 1 inch sewing allowance. So now let's see what it looks like inside. All right, can you see how it looks on the inside? This is our lining. We haven't joined the shoulder yet, but I just wanted to give you a feel of what it looks like. Can you see that it is sealed and looking very neat on the inside? You can even turn it and wear the back as a dress. That's the idea, right? We're not seeing any rough edges or any roughness, okay? We're not seeing any roughness. Everything is neatly sealed and covered, so that when your clients look inside your dress, they would say, wow, amazing, right? Yeah, so that's how we finish it. Look at, that's the zipper area. That's the part we sealed up. Can you see? So if I zip it, let's see what it looks like when we zip. So this is what it looks like when we zip. You see? Very neat. Yeah. Let's seal our shoulder, right? Our shoulder, I'm going to take the right side facing the right side and the lining facing the lining. So this is our right side on the shoulder, and this is our right side on our fabric. This is our right side on our fabric. I hope you can see, right? And then we'll just join, making sure that the neckline aligns, right? We want to make sure our neckline aligns. I'm going to just pin that part. So main fabric to main fabric, then lining to lining, and then we'll seal main fabric to main fabric, and lining to lining, ensuring that it aligns on this part here. And I'm just going to pin and sew on our sewing allowance, 1/4 inch allowance, right? Yeah. All right, so once I have finished joining, this is what it's going to look like. This is our neckline here, and this is our shoulder. Okay, that's it. And we have our armhole there. I'm just going to sew the other side and then iron so that you can sit neatly, right? You can see that the shoulder on the inside is also neat. Everything is sealed inside. Everything is sealed inside. The shoulder on the lining, very neat. Hi, all right, so for the sleeve side, what I've decided to do is whatever fabric that you have left, you want to get your preferred length. Okay, I'm using 13 as my preferred length, and I have this long length. Let me see what the length is. It is 1 yard, right? 1 yard long for one sleeve. So I'm going to gather and add elastic to give me the puff look, right? That's what I want to do. I'll just go to the sewing machine and turn this, pass my elastic band inside, gather this area, and then we attach it to the sleeve, and then we'll go back to the machine also and finish up our hemline, right? Finish up our hemline. We do the same thing for this lining. We'll finish up our hemline, and then our dress will be ready. The next video you're going to see is the finished work of the dress. I hope you enjoyed this process. Please don't forget to share this video, like, right, subscribe, tell people about this channel, help this channel grow, support me. Thank you so much.